Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Tonight it's the last vlog for the year. How cool is that? First off, we'll kick it off with a huge thank you for all of you amazing humans that are watching this thing, and then I'll be that guy for one very moment. One of these buttons down here, subscribe this thing. Come on, let's go. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, do the thing. That'd be lovely. Let's talk about the week that was, the lifting of the things. Successful week, super cool. We had the plan to finish this training block, being an organised human, referring back to the Be Bad Chitty Chats where we talked about planning out, organising, being thoughtful of holiday times and what to do around training. Very easy. Christmas next week for me. We'd be de-loading, going to the beach, Brody's beach, hanging out with the family. Maybe we train, maybe we don't, but no big deal, because I geared all my training around having the deload. So that being said, this week meant we had a little bit of a push, so to speak, which was very successful. If we can reflect back at the start of this training block, 80 kilos on the bench, struggling, got 95, super cool. Bench, deady, flat chat, 220, jet lagged as fuck. We got that 220 rough single at the start, pulled a triple. Very happily, moved very well, and we're battle squatting. Super rad, super cool. So that brings me to an idea that I'm thinking about, and that is we need to be very cautious when we're thinking about our weights and what we can lift and what we should be able to lift, so to speak. And this is really specific to people who are setting themselves up to lift at a certain date, whether it's competitively or for goal setting. You're trying to set something up to lift, let's say for myself, example being June next year, I'd like to do a 3 lift, and then worlds afterwards. So if what I want to lift for a single maximum lift is then, whilst it matters what I lift now, I certainly don't need to lift what I want then now, so to speak. So I should not measure my enjoyment and my success as a human in the gym based off my ability to lift what I want in June now. I think too often a lot of us will get caught up in the fact that, oh no, it feels heavy. How am I ever going to be able to lift X weight? Well, you just trust in the process and you'll be able to do it. Like, let's example, I pulled 220 for 3, conventional beltless, a few constraints in there. That makes it harder for me. But at the end of the day, I've pulled 300 for a double. Like, 220 for 3 is nowhere near 300 for a double. But doesn't need to be yet. And that's the important thing. That's the cool thing. Best example is just looking at that. Let's talk about that deadlift for me, 220 for 3. I know, talked about it last week. I nailed that 220 for 3. We can consider the RPE. How many more could I have got? We'll watch the video, we'll have a look, we'll find out. I definitely could have got a couple more though. If we're going to get more, we can use the old analogy of 5 reps is about 80%. Let's use that. Let's say we could have done 220 for 5. 80%, 220 is 260. My best ever deadlift is 272.5. So we could argue just with that data, I could pull 260, which is just less than my best. So I know right now, even though I'm not pulling 300 for 2 or more or thereabouts, that my 220 for 3 is really fucking good, which is something we all need to do. We need to not necessarily get so caught up in that big number, just really just sit back and enjoy the week that was and be stoked and proud of the numbers that we've all lifted, because we've all worked hard. Should enjoy this thing. Now, check out the week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do the thing. Promise not to do that too often. Feel tacky about it, but I did it. Need the subscribers. Come on, I want that YouTube money. Thanks, Chris. See you soon.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Benches. 95 kilos. Not much for a lot of people. And also, I guess, not too much for me. But I am super duper stoked and proud. Like we chatted about at the start of this thing, 80 kilos for 10s kicked my ass at the start of this thing, and I had a goal of holding the 10s all the way through and get it kind of as close as I could to my little mark in the sand, 10 at 100, which I quite like to be able to do. I feel like I'm super close to that now. I was consistent, held all 4 sets. They got a little tough towards the end, but we're happy. progressing along here. We've just been jumping a 5 kilo a week along with the bench press, and we've got our 75 kilo here spotto press. I feel like the load this week, particularly here on the bench press, was about spot on. It was, there was still a rep in the tank, so I was still well within the technical max, but at the same time it was still tough and challenging, so I had to really think about what I was doing with my positional stuff. Being that we're into the training block here, we're moving into the next one, I do need to start considering what will be next for this bench day. I'll start looking at the stuff that's been successful, what I've worked on, what I haven't done for a long time, and start thinking about what we do next. And here is a perfect example of what I like to do towards the end of a training block, is start exploring new movements, start seeing, getting some thoughts and feelings on how they move, how they feel, start thinking about will they be right for me. And as we know, my shoulder stability is a priority, my shoulder strength is a priority, because I do feel they are my biggest opportunity at the bench press, holding back my ability to be able to press more kilos. Kneeling single arm inside overhead press, and I have got fuck all weight here, but I am getting plenty of work out of here. Big focus on trying to set the shoulder, put it in this right place. You can see I'm twisting and turning a little bit. However, this is my first week doing this movement, this exploration, let's call it, feeling out of new movements and exercises I might like to do in the coming blocks. This one will feature nicely, and you will see me do this in a lot of my accessories and muck around with stuff and see the stuff I like and don't like. So it pops up again. High to low cable rows, nice little bodybuilding pump. Quite liking this for the upper pecs like we've seen. This cable fly is definitely going to stay in there. However, just to add variation in that blocks, we might change the angle around just that little bitty bit to keep that muscle confusion, let's call it. Be a dickhead and say that. Push-ups, look, mate, I am stoked. 10 is not many for some, however, to be able to hit 10 pain-free in the shoulder renos is a happy day. These will stay. Look forward to progressing these. I used to be able to get bazillions of push-ups, but we're going to keep doing this. This is a nice little finisher. This is a little shout out for anyone doing bench out there. You want to finish hard. The bench, get a lot of push-ups in. 2-2-0 deadlift off the floor. I was fired up for this one. None that I struggled with 220 literally at the start of this prep, getting the opportunity to revisit and actually use it the way it should. I still feel maybe 5, 8, 10% down on potential top end strength, but we're not there yet. We talked about that. I don't need to be there yet. I'm happy to move that for 3. Throw up alpha, I'll do more. Could have done more anyway, didn't need to do more. I only wanted to do one top set for that day. Mindful 220 could kick my ass a little bit. However, to keep with the total volume for the day, I wanted 3 sets of conventional. I want to maintain that through. This is a nice little training strategy. Hit your top set and then just do your next 3 sets a little bit lighter, so you keep up the work capacity, let's call it, for the goals. I did a couple of these 170s, nice and easy. Here we go. Now I know this is going to be a tricky one. 220 is tough. It's got me a bit buggered from those conventionals. A little feel out set at 170, that wider stance sumo. You can see 200 here, massive breakdown in my opinion. Good enough to move the weight, but I'm literally just fucking fudging this thing. Legs are caved in a little bit, bars out the front a little bit, shooting the hips a little bit. It's just 200 kilos, so I'm good enough to just fudge this thing up the ground, but you can see here I'm fighting to get this off the ground and fighting to keep position. Shit, I think I only did 4. We throw the belt on. Curious about to see how these feel with the belt on. These ones move a bit faster, struggling a little bit with lockout. That is most likely due to the position of my legs here at the start. But this wider stance super is staying. We're moving on. I am enjoying the challenge that comes with it. Whether or not this is the exercise from later down the track, we'll wait and see. However, I'm getting some good leg work out of this thing. Next training block, consider it. I want to keep pushing conventionals. I enjoy that as a general strength exercise. These sumos need more technical focus, so we'll probably look to throw a pause in just off the floor and strip the weights back a little bit. So heavy conventional, technical sumo, let's call it. And proof that we do our accessories. Here's my Cossacks, sped up to make it look like I'm kind of good at them, but let me just tell you, I'm kind of not good at them. Good enough to hit that kind of range, not good enough to add weight yet. We're just pushing the supersets here. Cossacks definitely just need mucking around. We will definitely see them again. We have talked about it. Reverse Nordic for that knee health. This is what I wanted to play around with today. This is something we'll probably consider it, throw in to the next training block. Good little quaddy pump, little glute, little core on that thing. We couldn't look to throw a band in there, I guess, to try and get a little bit more range. Load of high row. No peps behind that, just want to do it. Squatties, here we go. Woohoo! Let's call it a stop, not a pause. Can't call it a pause, I kid myself. 3 reds and 3 readies again, that's right, we're doing it again, same outfit. What we going on here, I hit 3 reds last week, I've done it for 1, done that a couple of weeks now. To go up and progress, I don't necessarily need to add more load. I can just do another set with the same weight, and that's what I did. We did add some weight here. We've got another 10 on here, 135 for the down ups. Reasonably happy with these. Legs are feeling good, knees feeling good, nice little pump on the legs. We're just going to keep doing this, ladies and gentlemen. The squats are going to land around 3 reds beltless. Muck around with variations and stuff, and we'll just slowly bring up this 5s. Old school 3 5s, 5 5s, 4 5s. It just sets reps and volume on the squat. No belt, just makes it nice and easy. And look at that, another 5. Just chip it away, chippy away. Side boob happening there. I'm generally pretty happy with these, to be honest. At the bottom here, you probably can't see it. I definitely feel it. I do lose my hips and extend a little bit at the bottom, so that will be definitely some opportunities, some things I want to clean up. I do feel like depth is okay, but I would be happier with a tiny bit more. But generally, this is feeling pretty stable, and the knee is feeling good, so that makes me happy. I was squatting with big heavy. That fucking monster did some big ones. The Xerxes. Now again, like we talked about, you don't necessarily need to push everything up to find and seek progression in training session. I added a set on my 175. I jumped 10 on the back off 5. So I got the same weight as previous weeks. Just keep bashing at 75. The goal of this training block for me hasn't necessarily been load related. It's just been a little bit of exploration, more exercises I think I need, and play with them. And then as well, just build some work capacity, get fit again for moving weight. So moving 10s of this, happy. Here we go, trap bar training block PB, 120 as we've been watching. I've been banging away on 80, which, you know, that is a bit of a joke weight. That's not quite a lot. However, feeling a bit stronger, feeling a bit happy with this position, getting there with it. We've got the 120 here. We just bashed out 8s. These moves really good. Definitely going to keep the pull day. I'm starting to consider maybe we'll push the trap bar a little heavier, which could be fun. And also proof jonnybbad does his lunges. We've got no weight here, however, like we said, I am that far away from a competition. I'm not too fussed on weights and loads at the moment. I'm just trying to build work capacity, so that in the next training block or training blocks to come, the accessories can be trained with some purpose, which I do think is a big opportunity for all of us. Accessories aren't just a time to cruise. You need to fucking train these things. So, and I do know from previous year that was a big opportunity on my own. I did coast and cruise a little bit too much on accessories. So coming into 2024, you're going to start seeing some weights thrown around here. Anyway, crew, thanks for watching. It's been a great year. Bring on 2024.